Indian officials say 13 civilians have mistakenly been killed during a military operation. It happened in the northeastern state of Nagaland. The army is reported to have shot at a truck carrying dozens of people, and then troops fired at a crowd that gathered in protest against that attack. One soldier also killed in all of that. With us now from the Mon district in Nagaland is journalist Mano Wangnao. Thank you so much for your time. Is the army giving any explanation as to how this happened? Because it is a huge, huge error.
Unfortunately, they have given an excuse of mistaken identity, which is just not justifiable, because the villagers were returning from their fields, from their daily work. And I don't think it is very difficult to be able to differentiate between normal villagers coming back from farms, in comparison to militants who are probably armed at most instances. And in this case, it was during daytime. It wasn't even very dark. It was 4 p.m. here, wherein the sun is still up and people are still visible. So they have said it is a case of mistaken identity, but people here are not buying it at the moment.
I'll bet they're not. Mano, I think we need to understand more about the background, the situation in Nagaland, because it's not a part of India we hear about very often. I'm trying to understand the nature of people's relationship with the army and with officials there.
Okay, as you mentioned, Nagaland has been seeking its independence from India since time immemorial, since the British left India. And with years and years of suppression of the Naga movement, we have now come to a point after decades of struggle that it is probably safer to integrate with India, since we've been suppressed for a very long time. However, once in a while, we have incidences like this, which is the result of AFSPA. I don't know if many people are aware of it, but parts of India, like in the northeast, where we have militancy or we have this kind of uprisings, and Jammu and Kashmir have there is a certain special act called the AFSPA, that is the Armed Powers Special Forces Act, that has been there in states like this for the longest time, and this gives the security forces, the full. There is no accountability. They can, under this act, they can fire and they can shoot at people at sight at will if there is even a speck of suspicion. So,
and
because of
why
this,
why was that brought in? Sorry to interrupt you. Why is there a Special Powers Act like that, which is so violent and so seemingly extreme, certainly to outsiders?
Exactly. India is a democratic country, and we believe and we follow the institution. The institution is very, very strong, democratic institution, and yet it is surprising that after years and years and years of, continuous talks of peace, this Special Powers Act is still prevalent in states like this, and we have no idea. We have been fighting to repeal such acts. You must have heard about the Manipur women's, naked parade to protest against the killing of a young woman called Manorama. So this has been going on for the longest time, and this act is the reason why yesterday the villagers, harmless villagers, unarmed villagers, innocent villagers going about their work were fired upon without a single question in broad daylight. So this is something, the government of India should actually think and analyze as to why, after so many years of talking about integration and peace, these regions are still ironclad under this rule, where a person, if under the suspicion of being a militant or having militant contacts, can be gunned down, with impunity.
Mano Wangnao,
this is something that...
Look, we really appreciate your time and explaining to us the situation there in Nagaland. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.